So we learned earlier about the sum pattern, the difference pattern, and the sum and difference pattern. And down here in example 4, 5, and 6, we need to apply those three patterns. Right? So we first need to figure out, here's our problem. Which pattern does it fit? Does it fit the sum pattern, the difference pattern, or the sum and difference pattern? And after looking at it for a bit, you could see that it does follow the sum and difference pattern. Right? So we're going to go ahead and state what the pattern is here. And so this is the sum and difference pattern. And what is our A? It is our 10x. And what's our B? It's our 2. And so how do we find what the answer is? Well, we're just going to go ahead and plug in. It's going to be a squared minus b squared, right? A squared minus b squared. So it's going to be 10x, because our a in this problem is 10x squared. Be sure to put parentheses around that, because that square applies to the 10 and the x. And we're going to say minus 2 squared. So if we go ahead and do the math, it's going to be 10 times 10 is 100. And then we have x squared. And we have a minus 2 squared is going to be 4. And so that's our answer, right? So this way sure does beat out foiling or times tabling or doing distribution. So let's look at number 5. And what pattern do we see here? Well, we could see that it does not fit pattern 1, it does not fit pattern 2, and it again fits pattern 3, right? So it's not necessarily a sum times a difference, but here it's a difference times a sum. But that's going to be the same thing, right? So let's go ahead and say sum and a difference. So our A is going to be our 6y, and our B is going to be our 13. And we're going to go ahead and plug into a squared minus b squared. Right? So it's going to be 6y parentheses squared minus 13 squared. A squared minus b squared. So then over here, 6 times 6 is 36y squared minus, this is going to be 169, I believe. Let me double check. So this is 13. Oh no. 13 times 13. 169. And we're done. Okay. This last one here is find the product, and so we have a sum that is squared, and if we look at our patterns, we can see it's a sum pattern, right? We have a sum that is squared. So let's do the square of sum as our pattern, square of sum. Okay. And our A is going to be our 3 over 4k, and our B is going to be our 8, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to plug into our sum, square of sum pattern, which is a squared plus 2 times a times b plus b squared. So we're over here, and it's going to be a squared, which is 3 over 4k squared, plus 2 times a, which is 3 over 4k, times b, which is 8, plus b squared, which is 8 squared. So if we go ahead and work this out, let me use this scratch paper down here. It's going to be 3 over 4 times 3 over 4. It's 9 over 16 k squared, plus this is going to be 6 over 4k. Oh, I'm sorry. We have an 8 here too. So it's going to be a 48k. 48k plus a 64. Okay, so now we're going to look and see if we can do any reducing. So 16 and 9 have no common factors, so we're going to leave that alone. 4 goes into 48 12 times. So let me just double check on that. So it's 24 times 2 is 48. Yes. So 4 goes into 48 12 times. So it's going to be 12k. And then we have 64. So let's go ahead and put our answer over here. It's going to be 9 over 16k squared plus 12K plus 64. And we are done.